right, y'all, welcome to Tap In Season 1. This is just a bonus episode because I feel like I got to give this little disclaimer before y'all see this whole phase episode. If you are at home or wherever you at watching this, if you're watching it on my YouTube channel and you see some smoke go by or whatever, that's my incense that's lit over here. So it ain't none of that weird, none of that shit going on. So this week's, I don't know, this ain't even the episode that I planned on fucking releasing. This is some shit that I just had to like really say because what the fuck. So I called it I Gotta Live Here You Don't because I was just thinking about next Friday, you know, when Craig get all that shit started in the neighborhood and they like, I gotta live here, you don't. That's why I'm calling this episode that. So I've been getting criticism and I've been getting unsolicited love life advice or advice, just period, that I don't go looking for it and I don't open up about a lot of things because I don't want to hear people's mouth. I don't want to hear people's shit. I could give a damn what a lot of people would have to say, but I really just do not want to hear that shit. Like, leave me the fuck alone. So what got me on this subject is I'll talk about the situation with my mama first. So the situation with my mama first. She watched the podcast of me and Michaela with the on Michaela's Ideally Me called We Hate It Here. So she listened to it and she loved it. She was like, it gave me a chance to get to know you better and all sorts of stuff. Like, she loved it. I'm like, oh, okay, thank you, Mom. I was actually pretty shocked. That she was just like, I love it, but I appreciate it. So that went pretty good. So I released the toxic behaviors episode, and it did get pretty graphic. And on that episode, if you watched it, you just would have to watch it, and it's up to the viewer's discretion. But anyways, I guess whoever watched it told my mom, and this is one of the reasons why it took me so long to start a podcast, because I didn't want to hear the bullshit. But anyways, and whoever watched it, they went back and they told my mom that it was like bad or whatever. And yeah, and she was like, well, I didn't watch it for myself, but you gave me a warning not to watch and listen and da-da-da. And I'm like, yes, I did. But she was like, I heard that it wasn't pretty, and I just really hope you're not putting yourself out there like that. Okay, Mom. Like, I get it. But she also has to understand whoever she's hearing that from, they're probably not my target audience. I'm looking for people that's like my age, not senior citizens. And there's nothing wrong with being a senior citizen. I'm just saying that this might not be some shit that you want to hear or whatever. But I also got criticism for me and Mariah's episode. We were cussing a lot, and you know, I cuss a lot. Cuss words don't fucking bother me. If I'm around somebody else that's cussing a lot, unless they like a child or old, I'm probably not gonna look at them twice. Like, oh yeah, they cussing, so what? But yeah, like, I don't even, like, cuss words don't really bother me, but apparently it stuck out to this person, and I don't think he meant anything by it. But it's also one of those things to, like, I feel like you should know me. You should know that I was gonna get on here and cuss. When I told Mariah about the feedback or the criticism or whatever, she was like, this ain't no Oprah. And that's exactly what it's not. Like, I'm not Oprah. I'm not one of them bitches that's gonna keep it PG. I'm not none of that damn shit. So if you think I am, you thought wrong. Like, that's not my thing. I don't I don't know. I feel like I filter myself, but on this platform, it's about me. It's about me being as authentic as I possibly want to be, because I feel like I don't have a lot of places or a lot of spaces to where I could be me without being being criticized. And a lot of the time, I'm not open to criticism. That's why when I'm going through something terrible, I don't know how to talk to somebody for actual advice, because shit, I don't be open to hearing shit that I don't want to hear. And I'm no different than nobody else, because a lot of y'all are the same. A lot of y'all are the same. A lot of y'all are the same. And one thing I do want to say, if you are always authentically you, love it. And this criticism, it affects me more because it took me a long time to become this woman that I love. To become this woman that I love, that I adore, that I appreciate. I'm not thankful for the trauma and the tragedy, because fuck that. I could have went through life without that shit. But who the trauma and the tragedy, all that shit, how it shaped me and the woman that I'm becoming, I'm really loving her. Like, I'm loving her. I'm able to help people out. I'm loving. I'm sweet. I got a note in my phone that I made one day when I was just in a really good mood. And I just wrote this beautiful letter about everything that I love about myself. And that's one of the things, that I wrote in there was like, yeah, you done been through some shit, and you done seen a lot of fucked up shit, and you've dealt with a lot of fucked up situations. But it's like, I got through that shit. It definitely framed me though. And I may not be this picture perfect person, but perfect is something that's subjective. That's going to be different towards everybody. What's perfect is going to be different towards everybody. I could see a person who may have messed up one point in their lives and went to jail and got out, and now they're doing good. That may be perfect to me, but to you, perfect is a person that never went to jail. So that's one of those things where everything is kind of subjective. And I feel like this was truly a learning experience for me with the feedback from the podcast. I guess because I have this platform, I have to be open to this shit. And this is very different than my regular, social media shit. If I'm posting a snap, nobody's gonna, well, some people are, they out there. They are out there. Nobody's gonna just be like, oh, I don't like this snap and you shouldn't do it. Like, people don't criticize shit like that. But I guess when you're doing a podcast and you have a platform and a voice and people who actually listen to you and shit, I guess you kind of do have to be open about that. But you also have to know that when you're taking criticism, I read a meme that said, don't take criticism from people you wouldn't take advice from. So be mindful of the people that you're taking criticism from and you're taking advice from. Be mindful of the person themselves. I have this thing where I always say people are always going to give advice from wherever they are in life, from wherever they are at in life. So if I know somebody that's bitter all the time, bitter, mean, angry, kind of negative, of course, when they go to you and give advice, their focus is going to be negative. For example, if I had a friend that fucking hated men, if she fucking hated men's guts, do you think I'm going to her for some relationship advice? Hell no. Hell no. No, you can't tell me shit, because I already know what the fuck's coming out of her mouth. Cut that motherfuckers off and da-da-da-da-da. Girl, I hate men. Da-da-da-da-da. No. I don't be wanting to hear all that. So be mindful of who you're taking that advice from. Another thing that I can say with that is learn how to love you. Learn how to love you. For a long time, I held back from doing this podcast shit just because I was just I wasn't secure with myself. And now that I'm here, I'm like, holy fuck, I'm here. I'm really doing it. Like, I'm actually happy as fuck. And I'm glad I made the decision. And yes, it is some criticism out there, but I'm like, I don't care. I'm still going to do my thing. Probably won't switch it up much. Keep the same kind of whatever the fuck. Keep the same shit going because I fucking love my podcast. And I like how this shit is going. What else? Yeah, and when it comes with age too. That's another thing. That self-love shit comes with age. It comes from your home life, how you were raised. If you literally had people in your home pouring love in you, then when you get older, you kind of have that skill already. A lot of us out there, we weren't well, I won't say we weren't because motherfuckers loved me at home. But a lot of people aren't fortunate enough to have that love and that support. And to those people, I really hope you find you some support. I really hope you find people who pour love into you just as much as you pour into them. I really hope you find that. This insect is choking me, y'all. But yeah, and when you learn to love yourself, the criticism, it won't matter. Because like I said, like the title is called, I gotta live here, you don't. Oh yeah. And while I'm thinking about it, this is another thing that came up and it actually bothers the hell out of me. And I hope she listens to this episode. Love you in advance. But I was talking to someone on the phone today, and I don't want to be too candid about who it is, but she's probably going to listen. But I was talking to her on the phone today, and she told me that her and another person had a conversation about me getting back with my ex-boyfriend. Like, the conversation was like, oh, she tripping if she don't want to be with him. She would be secure. She wouldn't have to worry about nothing and all this and all that. And I'm like, yes, you're absolutely right. I never took that from him. And I never will take that from him. But that's the thing. Any man that I'm choosing to be with, I am going to be secure. I'm not going to have to worry about anything because that's going to be a requirement from my man. Like, I'm not going to have to worry about anything. You're absolutely right. But at the same time, I can find that man and be in a situation to where I'm happy and secure. I know it's hard. It's going to be hard to find him, but when the time comes, I'm going to be happy and secure. That's the thing. Like I said, you got to live here. They don't. So yes, on the outside looking in, people might be like, oh, that situation would have been dope. Or, oh, she would have been in a better spot. Or, oh, she wouldn't have had to worry about anything. Would I have been happy? Like, would I have been happy? That's the thing. When people talk about like your dating situation, all sorts of stuff, first of all, they have to understand that you got to live that life. I don't know what song it is, but it's a Ashanti lyrics when she be like, only I could live my life and only I could feel my heartache. That's absolutely fucking true. That's absolutely fucking true. I got to live here. You don't. But yeah, so before you go in critiquing your friends and all sorts of shit like that about their situation, understand that you got to live there. You don't. And if y'all are doing that to other women that may be in a situation that, yeah, she would have been cool here, but would she have been happy? Because y'all on the outside looking in, y'all ain't got to wake up to that person. Y'all ain't got to deal with that person's ways. And then a lot of time when you are on the outside looking in, you don't know that other person's personality for real until you're dealing with them. Nobody is ever going to deal with that person at the same capacity that you are. So what the fuck? It's different. It's so different. Yes, he's nice to you, but he's fucking mean to me behind closed doors. Like, that's a thing. And a lot of people with that shit, y'all gotta stop doing that shit to people, especially women, making women feel bad because they don't want to be in situations because they're not happy. I was talking to an older woman, and it was one day I think I want to say it's my cousin Sierra's friend. We was talking and she was telling me, like she got a divorce or whatever. And then I was like, why? And she said, I wasn't happy. And I looked at her, I said, that's dope. like, that's dope. Like, you left because you wasn't happy. And I don't know what it is. I feel like with women, we take on the nurturing role. So when we do make decisions to leave based on something as minuscule as happiness, like, I feel like people are like, even though happiness is a huge thing. I feel like the day that I do become a mother, if I'm not happy, that's definitely going to affect my kids and my household. If I'm not happy, am I going to be at the capacity to be a great mother? Is my mindset going to be right? Am I going to raise happy children? If I'm not happy, can I be the person that I need to be for my kids? Just like if you're dating a man who's like, he done did a lot of fucked up shit. And this is actually my situation with the ex-boyfriend. So in the past, like men do shit. I'm not saying all men. I'm not speaking in absolutes here. But men do shit. And like women, I feel like every woman can kind of like get with this. Like, you take your man back. You take him back. It is what it is. But over time, he just keep doing the same shit. And it just kind of turns you into this person that you don't want to be. Like, who wants to be a woman and when we going to bed at night, I got to look through my man's phone. Like, no, I got to look through his social media. I got to do all this. I got to go above and beyond because I'm so insecure in this relationship. Like, and I'm not happy because happy people don't go through motherfuckers' phones. Like, happy people don't do shit like that. That's crazy. That's, ladies, gentlemen, because y'all out there too, leave motherfuckers' phones alone. If you got to do that shit, it's time to go. That's not peaceful. That's not happy. But anyways, back to the whole situation. With that situation, it was literally turning me into this woman that I did not want to be. Like I hated it there. Like, I wasn't happy. And I had dealt with so much shit by myself. I literally was going through something where I couldn't even be a friend or a cousin or the loving person that I am. I literally was like in a hole by myself. And I kind of ostracized myself because I didn't want what I was going through. I didn't want it to leak out to other people. I didn't want people in my business. I didn't want people just to know the humiliating shit that I was dealing with. It was just one of those things. Like, it's crazy. And that's why I say, like, y'all, stay out of people's situations because you just truly don't know. But with that situation, I wasn't happy. I literally was not happy. But the man who he is today, he's a great dude. He's great. He would do anything for me. Would I be happy? That's what I don't know, because I'm fucking traumatized from the shit in the past. Like, no, I don't know. I don't know about that. For real. I don't want to have struggle love. I really don't. That shit's... My neighbors are being fucking ghetto. But that shit's not even fun. That shit's not what's up. So I feel like I'm just kind of rambling. And it's not really coming together. But I do want you guys to know that I do appreciate you listening. So I appreciate the positive criticism. I appreciate the negative criticism. I appreciate the criticism because that means you listened. That means you tuned in. That means you tapped in. I appreciate y'all. Remember, you got to live your own life. Nobody else can do that for you. Happiness is important. And there's no such thing as being selfish with yourself. Like, if it comes down to it, if it's either you or another person, that other motherfucker is always going to pick themselves every time. So do the same shit for you. You got to live this life. Other people don't. Even if you love them, and if they love you just as much, then they're going to be willing to kind of back off and give you that space if they feel like they overstepping boundaries, if they respect you. If they don't, or if they got a problem with it, then hey, them people may not be for you and you need to reevaluate the situation. And that's that on that. I also want to let you guys know that the whole phase episode will be out tomorrow. It's fucking hilarious. It's so dope. Once again, I want to give a shout out to Tiara for coming through with the cameo. I appreciate her so much. I am going to give you a disclaimer. It's a lot of cuss words, a lot of talking nasty, saying some crazy shit. It's entertaining as fuck. It's entertaining as fuck. I also want to give a huge shout out to the Goonies. They made my little intro and my outro, and they are so dope. So hit them up for beats. I want to give a shout out to Kasaya, the girl who made my logo. She's amazing and she's sweet and so easy to work with. Michaela, of course, because that's my boo. Love you and appreciate you for everything. That's my girl. And I also want to give a huge shout out to the guys at Chill University. Y'all tune into their podcast. Me and Michaela actually linked up with them yesterday. Hella dope, hella cool, hella sweet guys. They funny. They hella funny. And they was just talking real shit. I feel like we was talking real shit. Like, the whole episode, it's a dope episode. We talk about music. We talk about side pieces. It's just so much shit that goes down into it. So you definitely will see us with them multiple times. Shout out to them. So much love. It was fun. I appreciate it. But yes, be looking for tomorrow's episode. It's going to be crazy and it's going to be so interesting. And Tiara really did a great job. I'm so happy. Oh my God, y'all. All right. So, that's it. Thanks for tapping in.